Philip Lawrence Sherrod, poet, composer, painter. Going to read to you 7 poems from Der Mae'Stro'S posthumous papers. Return to Adolescence by way of Fritto's honey barbecued flavored twist, and remembering Dion Spivak correcting me, gonna do the twist by Chubby Checker. Her now an agrophobically inclined and calling me up, wants me to do her anally and put it in her mouth afterwards, telling me she broke up with her black man, that's father to her son. Leaves me rather confused and disconcerted, but wary. How can I tell the world about such private longings by the moral underprivileged? Used to call her Cindy, and Elena hated her, always felt sorry for Cindy. But what a delightful passion pit, always handing out the mail at Brentano's. With that naughty equals look, titties bouncing slightly under fake rayon, burning a hole in my Levi's. Her walking slowly, carefully like in Casablanca. Me more volatile, eruptive than Humphrey Bogart, or the time Sharon asked me after lifting her skirt, her hairy muff staring me in the face, to meet her at Washington Square Hotel downtown, said she'd be in room number 9, which was Elena's birthday number, and I wondered if someone told her, or it was just a bookish bitch consequence. But her Aureolia's larger than a Brooklyn pizza pie, and what long legs that opened up to heaven, thanking me afterward, graciously. Well, that's not hard to take. Appeasingly, the simple beast, or the good old days, and coxmen can talk about if the affection doesn't go to their head. But not I. Just a simple man in confessional humility, graciously accepting my harvest of my innate needs and sexual talents, whichever way history treats an artistic memory. 'Tis fine by me, but Diane calling me again and telling me she had wished I were a pig so I could twist like Chubby Checker, with added twist like pretzels, like classic special shape and screw-tail pig. Poem 2. Rippling like silk and undulating like echoes of down the sidewalk's conquest runway, Victoria's Secret scantily clad and hot to trot and full of zest, and not about to look, selfish and frightened and not about to fuck, but most permissible, and life has a way of lining up its beauties. Foes, adversaries in need of love, like nature's microchips gone haywire in left ventricle or right aorta, most certainly unexplainable from a Cupid's viewpoint, and held delicately at bay like two forms in a teapot. Before my sight in fading visions, what if she had exposed fate's ultimate demands? Shot an arrow like a normal centaur into nature's glands? Wrestled with the ultimate plans of Zeus and Cleopatra, raising her voice as all lovers do over such trivial commentary, over kindness and intellect and consideration that all men are born equal, but don't stay that way. Who says who? And rather than palm me off to her sister or some other best friend, love 'tis all that matters, but not for her. Like a dove's controversial universal arrow of unpoetic and controversial means, she left me hanging, wanting more poetic diction, me burying my face in her palm, wet with dishwater, but pink and delicious and flexible to the point of stroking my beard aft, with multicolored nails like driven into coffin, her torso flashing more meat than my eyes were accustomed. To have had any other would have been ungentlemanlike. After all, 'tis said or done, baby, you are the other one, not the one that got my goat. Under nature's clouds and cypress trees and purple haze. Three, Ronnie. Mumbling words escape through your silent Sicilian lips, something like O Merte. At Redden's funeral home, 325 West 14th Street, like worded pale plastics, words on adorned lips curled back as Lon Chaney's or Wolfman's Dracula, sucking in wind and laying still as horizontal lighthouse, something like Montauk. And you have become romantically inclined like a pictured caricatorial charade, a self-portrait seduced by a present death situation of a living life, inclination, and peopled conclusion, outworn, outdated, no longer useful, like an old outwear past participle of acquaintances, as outworn, outdated friends, or somewhat superficial loves, gaining you nothing but pain and disquietude for your next life, gathering posies upshod and uprooted, looking for the ultimate dream of being accepted by street painters and general populace, looking for yourself in knee-plaid pants, waiting in dark upstate rejection for a mother who abandoned you, and unwanted degenerated dwarf with cancered feelings of a tender need for love, posting for me, posing with Bronx toothpick in mouth, talking tough, complaining and griping about how it could have been. You wanting to shoot horses in East Tenderfoot cowboy camp, dreaming of you as John Wayne working in upstate hotel, getting your education as Happy Jack, bellhop, carrying more than your share of goodies. Proud as Sicilian on first hit, a self-made man, talking your share unwanted praises and reminder that you and Toulouse-Lautrec were runts of life and art's litter, your head striking most fashionable, women's titty high, and to suckle your way like some good predator, kidnapping Lucy and finally giving ground and burial to will to neither word or world monster Ronald John Denota. 'Tis not the size of the dog in the fight, 'tis the size of a fight in the dog. For Saturn eating his children, painted by Goya. Symbolic metaphor like Spain and its deathical inquisition, no different than and right-wing religious Christians and biblical refrain of your offspring shall devour you. Civil war and American Roman oppression. Empires running roughshod over Iraq, Afghanistan for oil, and to get a middle foot in near Middle East. to control age-old Arabia, first place to write poetry, and the Assyrian scrolls, destroyed general Arab populations and Shiites and Sunnis, natural balance of things, and the mountain people, the Kurds. Bush arrogantly claiming on Channel 2, and you know, Saddam Hussein tried to kill my pappy. Him speaking like rural Crawford, Texas, Ed Sullivan Hour, Entertainment Hour, and mass media, no longer responsible for truth, quoting and misquoting, trying to get one foot up on a world of gossip that believes in do them before they do you. Not Jesus's do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. A real biblical refrain, which brings me to the ultimate question. Whatever happened to bin Laden? Soft-spoken Al-Qaedan poet with features and poetical eyes that wouldn't hurt a fly. But according to gossip and CIA, FBI is on the run from bringing down Twin Towers in my backyard. And according to the news, constantly dating gossip, has deteriorating kidney, is in need of poetical dialysis. If not to say, won't be allowed first in kidney list in North America. I mean, won't be number one on my list. And others screaming, falling bodies, dust, fire, and damnation, and two ugly boxes falling down, and all king's men and all king's women couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again, and Denota giving up the ship from Parkinson's and Montauk Lighthouse acrylic elegies. I think it's 5. So I get home, finding out that I have got Toots' umbrella, written right on the handle of the umbrella, but not with Sharpie pen. Me not remembering if Toots was the man I met at the Art Students League or not. Him laughing, one of my favorite people, accusing me of taking his umbrella, serves him right. Power of suggestion, says he likes my color, sounds like racial remark. Ha ha. If I remember correctly, he used to like bourbon on the rocks, but says he's quit drinking now. And coming home, I go into the great American deli, black and white striped awning, and the owner telling me if I knew what he was doing, he wouldn't be there. So much for Heidegger and continental philosophy of the common people. I don't know what I'm talking about, so be it, but this Haagen-Dazs chocolate and dark chocolate bar on a stick, 'tis what the doctor ordered. I am hooked on them like Lawrence Taylor, ex-football sacker, going on and on about idols, medals, and rehabilitation, regurgitation, just singing the cocaine blues. Any habit, 'tis dangerous, and the moral of this story, 'tis there is none, except when as a child my father said moderation is best, the middle road 'tis safest, good deduction, but now the problem 'tis no problem. Just got through calling NYC Transit to get my senior citizen 07 Manhattan trip renewed. With new knowledge, 'tis always useful, as Socrates would have approved. And I answered her with a question. When she asked me, and notice I said asked, A-X-E-D, incorrectly, with social blade ×2, whose 007 social security card yo got? Yo telling me, sis. starting cold turkey and finishing with roast hot duck at room temperature, remembering Jenny Ramsey, West Trinidadian with soft, throaty voice, gurgling sounds in her Aries throat made out of pleasure and sweet voicing it, and given to Tarian tenderness, ran back to her island birth and bought exporting-importing business, must now be in ruin as she had a way of batting her curled-up eyelashes back from curry and hot sauce's climax. God forgive me that she got away. At 19, could have done more time in her grand penitentiary canal. After all, 'tis said or done, there 'tis only one, and afterthought useless. Maybe what would should have been wasn't cousin then yesterday. I came across Broken Angel of Natalie Dalia Tamayo, Colombian Bogota student in second bathroom, wings broken and sugar melted, small dial with strands of thread, hair dyed black like her hair was, from Barranquilla. Small wonder, yet such passionate memories still persist. She died of cancer, perforated throughout her body, metastasized brain, blood, stream, female organs, lungs, and 14-year relationship of off and on, and her escaping every year or so at intervals. Yet memory 'tis a treacherous thing. One only remembers the good times. Present times included, like this melting Ghirardelli dark chocolate white mint made in San Francisco in 1852, collector's item for one salivating, good, big, evil mouth. Take that, corrupt Philistine, and hypocrite America, protecting your daughters from your mass-mediaized and ever-evil religious controlling right-wing conservational church death, me supporting true God revelations of do unto others before they do you. The common dilemma of tapping one's spoon as one inclined to do, whether in Tibet, NYC, or Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, as one inclined to be ascetic, a pure thinker, not writing anything down, or of its people a standoffish hermetic fool, would be easy, for it 'tis only in reminding the masses that they exist. Without a clear head, as modern Shakespeare doesn't exist, says you, and Achilles, not wanting to be reminded he's just a sore heel, leaves us baffled about the present-day sacrifices, star-born and adorned with blue-black tattoos written in helter-skelter fashion. Pure art does not exist without some tapping, like living. One block from House of Blind, short red ends tapping on white sticks, left out like disgruntled insects, says you. But to meet my southern Boise, Idaho friend, Jose Parma, from such made USA citizen, born there, yet transported here, leaves some questions for asking. 4'2" from Lima, Peru, his mother a good lady, him writing at my request symbolic words, Quichua, Machu Picchu, proves the point that all forebears have been to the top of the mountain, one way or the other, tapping out like some Peruvian moles the roots of knowledge, but to make me in black and white stand out through crevices in my earth-bound head, recorded by trials of fire and reproduced to 150 years, entombed by fading light and philosophical attitude, and falling for three-quarter angle, but failing present narcissism leaves me quite cold. Me deficient in slick words pertaining to and not excluding my 1/40th or 1/35th need to see as Indian love bestowed on me by being able to tap my buttered tap-tap plate on floured saucer. Okay, that was 7 poems read to you from Der Mae'Stro'S posthumous papers. This is December the 19th, 2011. And as they used to say, to be continued.